What is going on, guys? I'm Jay the Black here. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I want to talk about former NBA player Antoine Walker and his journey from making over $10 million throughout his NBA career, to going broke, to filing bankruptcy, to getting out of debt, and to basically working now to help other young athletes change the trajectory of their careers and their lives. But there was something that happened very interestingly earlier on in his career. He dated a woman by the name of Evelyn Lozada. Okay, he dated her for about 10 years, and they were engaged to be married. But for some reason, right around about 2008, she decided to leave him, and I believe she left him because he started to go broke. And Antoine came out relatively some time after that, while he was promoting his book, and he spoke about how he spent at least a couple of million on his ex-girlfriend Evelyn Lozada. Now, she is denying that she left him when the going got tough, okay? But we're really going to get into it, and we're really going to discuss, because I've talked about Evelyn Lozada before. I actually made a video on her, okay, with her ex, and how that situation unraveled. He ended up leaving her and not marrying her due to the fact that I don't think he thought that would be a good fit, and he knew she was there for the money, and once that money ran out, she would be running out too. But y'all gonna check that out. Now, Antoine did a promotional tour or interviews for his book, and he made some very interesting comments. Okay, now this was according to a conversation that he had while he was doing an interview. He said, "My thing with Evelyn is she reaped a lot of the benefits of my wealth, and when it got tight, she chose to go a different direction. So that's the problem that I have with Evelyn. Evelyn went with her reality show, and we all know all her relationships she's been in since me. It hasn't been about let me make sure Antoine is okay. So that's a big difference. I dated Evelyn for 10 years. In 1999, I signed my 9th deal in 1999. So she got to reap the whole benefits of the whole process. It's rough when you take care of people and you make sure they're good, their family, their daughters, and then they just go left field." Well, I would say this. A lot of these athletes make the wrong decisions when it comes to women, because a lot of these guys aren't used to getting attention from attractive women. Not saying that Evelyn's super attractive, but I'm saying Evelyn, her prime, is looking good. He wasn't used to maybe dating women like that in high school or in college. And because of that, he really wanted to get with her and impress her and give her a lavish lifestyle. So he is complicit in that. I don't think that she pulled the wool over his eyes, but I do find it very interesting, bro, that you spent millions of dollars on her. Now, we do have to look at the fact that it's 10 years. So money's going to be spent on her. Okay. But if you have to spend $3 million on her, well, I'm just saying, paraphrase, $3 million. It could have been more than that. But bro, that means that she basically signed a 10-year deal for a couple of million, because for you to be giving her that amount of money lets me know that she was just there for the money. And I want y'all to understand, he filed for bankruptcy in 2010 when he was still trying to hang on in the D League. You understand? He was in the D League because he had went broke. He ran out of money and he was trying to hang on. Around 2008, 2009, he was getting traded from one team to another. He was struggling as far as being able to get on a stable roster ever since he had won a championship with the Miami Heat. You would think that a veteran like him, once they win a championship, would be able to walk away, but he wasn't able to do that. And he wasn't able to do that because of the debt that he had been in. I want y'all to understand, when he filed for bankruptcy, okay, he had $4 million in assets, but he had about $12 million in debt. Okay, and not only that, the trustee of this case sued Evelyn for $600,000 because they were saying that Antoine was giving her money to hide. Apparently, well, she said that he was investing in her business. And that's what the money was for. But she ended up having to settle for $40,000. But the thing is very interesting. When his career started to wind down and it was no big contract coming, his career was pretty much over. That's when she decided to leave. And there was one interesting thing too. She started to save money. She said this out of her own mouth. She started to save money because she knew she wanted to start her own business, which means that she knew that the well was running dry. She had to start saving money. She didn't save none of the couple of million he spent on her. Now, she didn't save that. She spent that. But when she knew that he was running out of money, he was getting deeper and deeper into debt. The guy was funding not only her, but friends. The dude had a bad gambling habit. Money was getting tighter and tighter. And he said it. When things start getting tight, she decided to leave. Okay. Now, this is another quote from Antoine. We got engaged in 2007. We had she caught me in a nasty breakup. We had broke up for a minute there. That's what delayed the marriage. And then she left when things started to hit the fan. So basically, she was out of there when the going got tough, which doesn't surprise me, because if you look at her relationships before, after him, all those relationships, when things started to sort of fall apart, she was out of there. She's the ultimate succubus, and I truly feel that is why to this day she has still not gotten into a stable relationship, because you do reap what you sow. You don't just reap the benefits, you reap what you have accumulated. And I think that there's a lot of toxic energy that comes from Evelyn. And I think that Antoine found that out the hard way. I think he felt used. I think he felt alone. I think he really cared about her. And I think that she kicked him to the curb. And she wants to make it seem like he's trying to hold on. She's trying to make it seem like the guy just won't leave her alone. Y'all know how the chicks get when you tell the truth about them and they don't want people to, believe it. And they dismiss you as somebody who is either holding on or somebody who is crazy. Like she tweeted this a while back too, when he started to speak out more publicly years later after they broke up and after he filed for bankruptcy. She says, I don't talk about you. Why talk about me? Move on. It's been 5 years. Yeah, just like you talk about Chad Ochocinco and all the other men on that reality show that you're on. On that reality show, Evelyn, you talk about your exes. You talk about your exes a lot, Evelyn. He can't talk about you. See, that's the thing. You see, these women go on Basketball Wives. They go on the Real Housewives of whatever, and they talk doggedly about the men that they were with. But if men did that, women are there with the shaming. So these men can't tell their stories. I believe Antoine wholeheartedly spent millions of dollars on Evelyn. Now, he did have gambling debts. He had over $700,000, but that's nowhere near the amount of money that he wasted in Evelyn, because it was clear to me, because you can already see it by her behavior, how she moves. She's the type of person to, use, and then when there's nothing left to gain, she's out of there. I mean, look at the situation with Chad Ochocinco, she made it worse than it really was. That situation with Chad was not as bad as she tried to make it out to be. And she milked it for as long as she could. But guess what happened? She went back on reality TV and started acting like the same old Evelyn, getting into it with females, being a bully. But, you know, she's going around acting like a headbutt was just the worst thing ever because she was milking it. This is what females like this do. And that's why she's single. This is why she is a middle-aged mother of a young son with an adult daughter. She really thought Carl Crawford was finally going to be the guy who wife her up, that she can, you know, again, have that, you know, a celebrity relationship she's always wanted with the rich guy. But see, the thing is, Carl Crawford was pretty much at the end of his career when he broke up with her, you know, or when they broke up with each other, because she's going to claim she left him, but she wouldn't give him his ring back. You know, same thing with Antoine. I believe she kept Antoine's ring. You know, a lot of these young athletes are making the same mistakes. You got a lot of these young athletes who are dating these IG models. They're having kids with them. I did a video about an NBA player who got into an altercation with a football player in the lobby of his apartment building over his girlfriend. Why are you getting into it with another guy over your girlfriend? And mind you, him and his girl have a child together. So either your girl is lying to you and not telling you the truth, or you're just the biggest goofy in the room. These chicks are playing mind games with these guys and they don't even know it. They don't even know and understand that they're being used for not only their fame, but for money as well, and for the lifestyle. If you want to mess around with IG models, I mean, do you. But when you start wifing them up and trying to have a family with them, getting engaged with them, you're going to get very disappointed. And I hope that Antoine, he's speaking to these athletes and the third, but I hope that he really brings it home to them that they need to be very careful of the type of women they make commitments to. Never make commitments to clout chasing, attention seeking females. Because I will tell you this too. I've done videos on athletes and their wives and separating. It's always the athletes who just retire when these women decide to leave. You know why? Because these women are able to live off of your money. They're able to be an athlete's wife. You're gone most of the time. They're able to live single while being married. You're not there and they're not missing you. Because if they did, once you got retired, they wouldn't be trying to get you back out the house. You know? Just something to think about.